Unique Spiritual Experiment on Collective Consciousness, Audio 5. Collective Japa of the Divine Gayatri Mantra. The Gayatri Mantra is referred as the crown of all mantras. This eternal mantra is said to be the origin of all Vedas. This is the prana of the Indian science of spirituality, philosophy, religion, and culture. The rishis, spiritual saints, and scholars of all ages affirm the divine preeminence of this mantra. There might be difference of views on other aspects of the Vedic philosophy and culture, but the uniqueness and the divine nature of the Gayatri Mantra are unanimously accepted by all. This super mantra is supposed to be an external expression of Dai afflutus and is therefore said to be the mantra of Adi Shakti Gayatri, the supreme force of the origin of all divine powers, cosmic energy, and universal creation. Lord Brahma adduced the manifestation of nature and creation of the universe by the sadhana of Gayatri. The absolute knowledge emerged thereby was echoed in the Vedas. This is why Gayatri is revered as Ved Mata, the mother of all Vedas. The divine powers regulating the existence and expression of nature and the cosmic creation emanates from its eternal source. In this context, Gayatri is Dev Mata, the mother of all Devtas, the Adi Shakti Gayatri being the root and the presiding power of the physical manifestation of nature and existence of the world is also regarded as Vishwamata, the mother of the entire world. The name Gayatri of the Adi Shakti implies that it is the eternal power of the genesis, protection, and ultimate evolutions of the prana. Gayatri has been worshipped on the earth as the deity Adi Shakti by the angelic incarnation of different ages. Rishi Vishwamitra is said to be the inventor of this Maha Mantra on the earth, realized and expressed its hidden pattern of Shabda Shakti in specific syllables. This is why he was conferred the title of Brahma Rishi, a rishi whose spiritual power could attain the omnipotent, omniscient Brahma. He is described in the scriptures to have successfully demonstrated the creation of a parallel universe because of the absolute siddhi attained through Gayatri Mantra. Apart from its historical, philosophical, and spiritual distinctions, the Gayatri Mantra is supreme because of its unique structure in terms of the science of Sabda Shakti too. As discussed earlier, the meaning of the mantra is negligible as compared to its subtle sonic pattern. The Bij mantras, Rim, Him, Lim, Hum, Fat, Shrim, Klim, etc. do not have any linguist meaning, but these, as the name suggests, are the seeds or the Bij of tremendous Shabda Shakti. When conjugated with other mantras, these exceptionally amplify the powers of the later. In terms of its meaning, the Gayatri Mantra is a universal prayer for righteous intellect. Hundreds of other mantras may also imply similar meaning, but it is the Gayatri Mantra that alone is regarded as most powerful, supreme. The secret lies in the remarkable configuration of 24 syllables as carriers of Shabda Shakti and in the unique patterns of the sublime currents of the spiritual force in this mantra, which is derived from the deeper science of Shabda Brahma, Nada Brahma. Mere unperturbed enunciation of this mantra for a continuous stretch of time would also generate powerful currents of prana that could induce divine effects. By vibrating all the subtle glands, ganglions, nerve bundles, neurological passages, and extrasensory energy centers, etc. in the physical, subtle, and the astral body, and thus arousing their hidden powers. Scientific experiments reveal that the japa of Gayatri Mantra stimulates the emission of supernormal brain impulses that generate specific aura around the sadhak. Highlighting the importance of this mantra in his book, Man Visible Invisible, Theosophist scholar Mr. Leadwetter attributes distinctive significance to the collective sadhana of Gayatri Mantra. Savita, the subtle body of the sun, is the devta of the Gayatri Mantra. The japa sadhana of this mantra links the sadhak's mind and inner self with the Surya Lok, the cosmic domain of the sun and its subliminal power. The sonic waves, along with the sublime currents of Sabda Shakti produced by the japa of this mantra, propagate upwards in a spiral shape and expand up to the heart of the Surya Lok. The echo of these is reflected back and bestows the supernatural energy and flow of prana and the divine brilliance of Savita on the body, mind, and inner self of the sadhak. In the words of Mr. Srinivas, a distinguished sadhak of theosophy, when someone makes perfect pronunciation of the Gayatri Mantra while engrossing its meaning and the divine spirit deeply in the mind and the heart, his consciousness gets connected with the absolute power emanent from the sun. This linkage educes enormous spiritual effects in his inner and external worlds. Several eminent scholars have also elucidated the astonishing physical effects and potentials of the Gayatri Mantra apart from its immense spiritual power. The views of renowned thinker-philosopher Arthur Colster assume specific significance in his context. Colster initially gained recognition as the critic writer and the communist thinker. In his later age, he was deeply driven by the quest for spirituality. Gayatri Mantra was the principal focus of his in-depth study. His contribution in introducing the Western world with this great mantra and its limitless potentials are indeed remarkable. Once Mr. Karangia, then the editor of Blitz, met Arthur Colster in London. Among other topics, the two also discussed the global threat and effects of nuclear weapons. Commenting on the disaster outcome of the nuclear war, Colster expressed his sagacious view as the great Gayatri Mantra is more powerful than thousands of atom bombs. If all the Indian collectively performed the japa of this mantra, the power aroused thereby would annihilate all the hazards of nuclear warfare and protect the globe. The psychological effects of Gayatri Mantra sadhana are no less than its boons on the spiritual and physical realms of life. It is the nectar which induces, fosters, and elevates prudent thinking and saintly sentiments. The emotional currents indwelling in its flow could unite the whole world like a family through the universal force of love and compassion. The Diyo Yonah Prachodayat segment of this mantra prays for the arousal of righteous intellect in all beings. Today, when perverted thinking and inhumane hearts appear predominant on almost every front of life, the need and importance of this Brahmastra has become all the more relevant and sought for. The collective sadhana experiment of Yug Sandhi Mahapurush Charan, initiated by the all-world Gayatri Parivar, is a dedicated endeavor to divert the declining trends, purge all the evils, and resurrect the beauty, peace, and divine bliss of life by the cosmic force of the eternal Gayatri Mantra. Illumination through Gayatri meditation. Gayatri meditation, the upasana of Gayatri, with or without the japa of Gayatri Mantra, is performed by deep meditation with intrinsic emotional engrossment on the pristine glow of the rising sun. Savita is defined to be the devta of the Gayatri Mantra, and the sun represents the gross body of Savita. The principles and the methods of Gayatri meditation encompasses deeper depths of scientific and spiritual knowledge. Its practice also unfolds and inspires the cultural unity of the world. The sun is universally regarded as a symbol of divinity. It has been worshipped or linked with devotional faith in one form or the other in all parts of the world since the prehistorical times. Larger number of sun temples are still found in different parts of North America, especially those inhabited by the Red Indians. Sun worshipping has also been a tradition in South America and the Hawaii and the Caspian Islands. The ancient Chinese scholars had devised the astrological principles and astronomy considering the sun as the basis, principal center of all the planetary motions and effects. Japan is known to be a devotee of the sun. It is also the land of the first sight of dawn. The Buddhist scriptures frequently refer to the sun as the controller of the celestial motion, etc. Islam regards the sun as Akam Ananazum, the main source of enhancing the willpower. The New Testaments of Christianity describes the religious importance of the sun in great detail. This is why St. Paul had declared Sunday as a sacred day. The Christians perform mass prayers in the churches, charities, and religious ceremonies mostly on Sundays. Greek and Roman scholars also refer to Sunday as a holy day of devotion and worship. The sun has been at the central core of the spiritual philosophy and science in the Indian culture. The Indian scriptures also glorify the power of the sun in different horizons of life. Lord Rama is said to have killed the mighty giant Ravana only after acquiring the esoteric knowledge of the vital power of the sun from Rishi Agastya. Yudhishthir and other Pandavas could attain immortal vigor and valor through dissipated upasana of the sun under the adept guidance of Rishi Dhaumya. Shastric literature mentions a great deal of the divine power of the sun and the prayers of the sun god. The Vedic schools regard the sun as the inspirer, the source of life and motion in the world, and describes the earth as to have originated from its core. The Indian calendar is also designed with the position and motions of the sun as its basis. The sun is supposed to be the principal source of life in nature. Existence of life on our planet is indeed sustained by the balanced energy radiation of the sun. The absence of the solar resources, even for a single day, could be dangerous for the earth. The sunlight also brightens up the mind and induces a joyous feeling in all living beings. Scientific findings indicate that the vital power, or pran, is essential for all the activities and motions of life in our world is gained from this cosmic energy. The currents of prana emitted by the luminous core of the sun are a reflection of a fraction of the Mahapran of the Parabrahma. Thou determination of manifesting thyself in these limitless expressions of existence materialize through this omnipresent flow of the Mahaprana. The moment thee recants this magnificent, the infinite core of the Mahaprana, and all the cosmic creation will be absorbed in the ultimate truth, leaving behind only the Mahasunya, the absolute void, the non-existence beyond the limits of the subliminal in the eternity. God is absolute, infinite, beyond the reach of our thoughts. The cosmic afflatus of thy power, subliminally governing the order and activities of nature, may be realized as the Mahapran indwelling the soul of the sun. In its expression as a living being, the soul of every creature has a natural and intimate relation with this Mahapran. Every living being needs to continually draw sublime energy from the sun for the healthy sustenance, vigorous progress, peace and bliss of life. Gayatri meditation, comprising of the japa of Gayatri mantra and meditation on the sun, conjugates the sadhak's soul with the eternal glow of Savita. This active linkage ensures soothing flow of a current of the Mahapran in the sadhak's mind, body, and the inner self as per the latter's natural requirement and absorption power. Inculcation of the Mahapran in the body results in vitality, vigorous health, physical strength, energetic alacrity, industriousness, liveliness, etc. While inculcating in the mental domain, this divine force is reflected in aroused virtues like courage, mental stability, endurance, self-control, integrity, sagacity, foresightedness, etc. Descent of the Mahapran in the spiritual depth of the inner self is expressed in enlightened faith, discerning prudence, pure intellect, supermental talents, inner force, compassion, generosity, altruist sentiments, and divine love. As the dawn of the sunlight awakens the sleeping world and energizes all living beings for the day's activities, the glow of Savita Devta also enlightens the inner mind of the Gayatri Sadhak. This transforms lethargy, rigidity, and dormancy into vivid action, zeal, and enlightened awareness. The brilliance of the eternal glow of Savita eliminates the smog of ignorance, illusion, and falsehood, and illuminates the deeper depths of consciousness with truth, knowledge, and absolute joy. The bonds of ego ever rise, and sensual passions melt, and the true existence of the self begins to expand in selflessness. A lyristic realization of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, that means the global family, and Aham Brahmasmi, that means unification of the individual self with the cosmic thyself. The evils of the sadhak's personality are cleansed, and simultaneously inculcation and arousal of virtuous tendencies, meanness, and misery is refined and gradually transformed into greatness, sainthood, and immense bliss. The inability and incompleteness of life begin to move towards perfection and absoluteness. Ordinary mortal life of the sadhak reaches the glorious realms of divinity, transmuting an ordinary man or woman into a great personality, a saint, an angelic being.